All right, good afternoon, traders. Hopefully, everyone is having a good day today. All market indices up today. Now, before I get into the show, I really do want to thank all my subscribers. I really do appreciate you guys tuning in and watching. Now, if you're not a subscriber and you happen to be watching the show, go ahead and subscribe. I really do think you're going to get a lot of valuable information from my technical analysis. All right, with that, as you know, we are going to go over the SPY initially, and then we are going to go over one stock Tim had asked me about, and then we will go over the three stocks that I think are technically setting up real nicely going into tomorrow. All right, with that, let's get into the SPY. So, as you know, last week we made that 52-week high in the SPY, and then we had a series of days that we just gapped down, and then finally on Friday, we had this really ugly red candle that touched this 50-day moving average. So if anyone who had watched yesterday's show, I said, let's see how we open up. If we start gapping below, there's a high probability of us retracing all the way down to this first Fibonacci level, all the way down here at 3345.75, let's call it. Now, in my opinion, you can go back and watch. I did think we were going to do at the very least a little dead cat bounce, if you will. And that's what I think we saw today. We did rally off the lows of that 50-day moving average. We retested it, and then we came up. We're right here near that midpoint Bollinger Band, right near that 10 SMA right there. So for tomorrow, we really need to start getting above this. I'm telling you guys, we really need to get above this 10 SMA. Now, if we don't, we start hitting that and we start failing. There's not only a high probability that we're going to retest that 50-day moving average, but going forward, I am going to target this first level right down here at 346.35, 345 area. Okay, that is the SPY. Be very careful. These downdrafts can happen very, very quickly. So again, if you have a little bit of capital to work, keep some powder dry, because I really do think we're going to see a pullback this month at some point. Okay, that is the SPY. All right, with that, let's go into the one stock that Tim had asked me about. It's GLUU. All right. So as you know, as Tim knows, we have earnings coming up here on the 9th, so we're not too far from earnings. And Tim had asked me what did I think of the chart. Well, there's some good news and some bad news, right? Well, the good news is, look, we have the 10 over the 50 and the 50s over the 200. We are right here near that 200-day moving average. So over the last, I would say, late June, we've kind of seen a lot of weakness going into the stock. I mean, has it just been bouncing around in a range, a very tight range from, let's call it, $10 all the way down here to $7 area. But to me, what's really intriguing is this gap from earnings right here. So I really don't know what was said during earnings. So if you know and you think they're going to have a good quarter, I mean, this is setting up for a really nice move up, right? I mean, we're not too far from that point of control. The value area high is right here. And obviously, as everyone who does watch the show, anytime we get above that value area high, there's very little shares traded above us. That means there's going to be very little resistance, okay? So that's the good side. The bad side is it does still look a little weak. It may want to, at some point, close this gap right here. I'm just really too concerned. And honestly, Tim, I can't give you a definitive answer. I mean, clearly we're going to have some support right here at the 200-day moving average initially, but with earnings being so close, anything can really happen. So I do apologize for not giving you a better answer. I can't predict what their earnings are going to be. Maybe after earnings, we can reassess where the stock price is, and then we can see how the, when and where to take a position, or if we should sell. Okay, that is GLUU. All right, guys, with that, let's give you three stocks that I think are technically setting up to move higher tomorrow. And the first one is going to be one that we've played in the past. Is VUZI. All right, so VUZI, it's had some really good volume. As you know, anybody who watches the show, I've been really extremely bullish ever since that $3.50 mark, and then we've been on a tear since then, and we made that 52-week high. Now, since that 52-week high, we kind of retraced all the way nice right here to this midpoint Bollinger Band right here. And as you know, since that initial move, this midpoint Bollinger Band has held really nicely. So again, going into tomorrow, we need to hold this midpoint Bollinger Band. So the low of $10.70 has to hold. Okay, so again, for tomorrow, be a buyer above that first 30-minute candle, that first 30-minute time frame. Once we can get above that, we take a half a position, and then we'll take the second half of a position once we can break above today's high and then getting above this 10-day moving average right here, which happens to be right around $12. Okay, so again, for tomorrow, be very patient. If we do gap lower, obviously it's a no buy. We take out that 1070. We're going to target maybe this 50-day moving average at some point. But if we do gap and go, again, take a initial position and then take a secondary position once we take out that $12 mark right here in VUZI. Now, if we do everything right and the trade does go sideways on us, there's a huge market sell-off, still use this midpoint Bollinger Band right down here or any close below today's low as you're out. Okay, that is VUZI. All right, second stock on the list we've played in the past. Looks really good going forward. It's XL right here, XL. Here we go. XL made that 52-week high back here at $35, and since then it kind of came back. Did bounce a little bit on this midpoint Bollinger Band, but unfortunately that did not hold. We came back down, made a lower low, and then we got that nice upgrade, right? Up here we had that nice little bounce, came back, and look where we're at right here. We're very, really close to this 50-day moving average right here. So again, for tomorrow, we're above that 10-day moving average right here, and clearly that 200-day moving average is down there. So the chart's setting up real nicely. Again, for tomorrow, watch that first 30-minute time frame. Now, again, if we do gap down, this is not, do not play it, do not touch it, right? Again, this is only on an open that's either slightly up or flat, okay? We take out that first 30-minute time frame, we take a position, and then we take a secondary position. We increase our position once we take out today's high of 2108, okay? That's how to play it. Now, again, if we do if we're fully loaded, it does everything right, market goes sideways on us, we use this 50-day moving average all the way down here as our stop. And for right now, it is at 1838. That has to hold, okay? That is XL. All right, last stock on the list that looks pretty good going into tomorrow. It's a little bit of a cheapie. It's a WWR. Here we go. WWR right here. Let's see if we can load it up. All right. Well, WWR, again, we're at a really good inflection point on this one. I'm just going to say it off the cuff. On WWR, make sure, again, you be a buyer above that first 30-minute time frame. All right, you take a half a position. If we take out that second, that $7.30 mark, which is today's high, we take an additional position. We double our position from there, and then we use today's low of 628 as our stop price. Okay, easy as that. Be a buyer. Wait for that first 30-minute time frame. If that obviously gets taken out on the upside, we take the position. We double our position if we take out $7.30. And then we use today's low as our stop price. Okay, guys, that is WWR. All right, everyone, thank you so much for joining me on this beautiful Monday afternoon. Hopefully everyone had a great weekend. Again, my name is Eric. If you have any questions, please feel free to just leave them down below, and I'll make sure to get right back to you with any questions you may have on technical analysis. All right, guys, have a great night. I will see you tomorrow after the close. And well, before I let you go, again, if you're not a subscriber and you happen to be watching the show, go ahead and subscribe. I really do think you're going to get a lot of valuable information from my technical analysis. All right. With that, we will see you tomorrow. Oh, there it goes. There's WWR. It popped back on. But as you know, I gave you the technicals on it. It's right there. Again, be a buyer above that first 30-minute time frame. And make sure you take a secondary position or you add to your position once we get above 730, and then you use today's low as your out. All right, everyone, thank you, and we will see you tomorrow after the close. Remember, trade smart and be safe.